Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on Australia Day here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go to our friends over in the US, and we're heading down to Jacksonville in Florida, of course, and speak with the North Florida women's basketball team. And of course, they've got a big game coming up. Of course, they've got 2 games in Alabama. And of course, we've got 2 very special guests that join us right now to tell us a bit about how their season's traveling. Of course, they're doing pretty well in the conference side of things, currently sitting just over the 500 win-loss record at the moment. And of course, they're joining us right now to tell us all about it. Thanks both for joining us.
No worries.
Our pleasure.
Obviously, I'll get both of you to introduce yourselves and tell us whereabouts in Australia both of you are from.
Okay. So my name is Ali Knights, and I am from actually Melbourne. So I'm from Geelong. And yeah, so I'm from Victoria.
And I'm Summah Evans. I'm from Cairns, Queensland, which is the tropical state, and the nice, warm far north.
Tell us a bit about the season so far. Of course, you've had a lot of games that's been postponed, especially at the start of this month. But the record is doing pretty well at the moment. I think currently sitting about 4-2 at this stage. I guess tell us a bit about the season up to this point.
Yeah, I guess it's just been a big turn of events that's been happening. I mean, we've had some players being injured, which has really affected our team, but otherwise we've been doing really well besides that. But I think we're all really proud of what we're doing and how we're becoming closer as a team, and just all of us coming together, especially later in the season. I mean, now in the middle of the season for our conference games, but otherwise it's really, I think what we're doing is like we're building our team to become better as women as well. So it's been awesome.
I guess, how have you tried to sort of juggle, I guess, with the pandemic, but also trying to get to some sort of routine going to games?
Yeah, so I think in a pandemic, you have the issue of COVID. So, we have had 1 game cancelled so far, but apart from that, it has been pretty smooth. So we've been able to get into a really good routine in terms of training before we either go away or for games. And, it's just started to, now we're in conference, our conference is doing back-to-back games, Saturday and Sunday. So that limits and reduces some of the travel, which is obviously reducing the risk of COVID. So yeah, it is a big schedule, and it's very heavy, and so it's been crammed. But in saying that, the schedule does change a bit in terms of we have injuries, so more people playing more minutes. So it's just adjusting training load and stuff like that. But it's been pretty. We are, as players, have gone in a really good routine as it's the same all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you're heading across to Florence in Alabama to take on North Alabama for the doubleheader, Saturday and Sunday your time. I guess, how has the team approached this week?
Well, since our loss yesterday, it was, we've definitely had to have some adjustments and just, more so mental outlooks onto the game. And I guess going to this game, we're just as ready as usual and like know what we have to do, and just, learning from our experiences and our mistakes, that we can just hopefully bring this into the next games and get another win for us.
I guess, what sort of things did you learn from yesterday's loss?
I think, in terms of, we've definitely got tired in the second game. I mean, with the lack of rotations, legs did come into it a bit, but I think it was also mentally, we were down by only 5 points, but I think we kind of beat ourselves up about it a little bit too much. And then we kind of got a bit not as optimistic of how we could win, because we do have the talent. And, credit to Kennesaw, they shot 14 out of 21 threes. So it's really hard to play against a team that shoots at such a high percentage from 3. And, so it was one of those games where, we need to continue to have each other's backs. And, really, it was a learning in terms of things that we can adjust defensively. And one of the big things that we're going to go into next game is rebounding. So having more effort on the rebounding, which will generate our offense a bit more.
Tell us how special to be part of the team.
Well, I guess since I've been here, I've never had a better team than this team. I mean, I've just every day I come into this into the court or we do anything together, I'm always excited because I get to play with these girls, and that was the main thing I was looking for coming to college, was more so the bond and the relationship and the type of family environment that I wanted to be in. And I was just really lucky that I got to be involved in this type of program. So I'm just so happy that the girls are just like exactly what I was looking for, and the coaches, and especially my Aussie mate and everything. So it's awesome that I've been selected into here and just being able to represent UNF.
Obviously, I'll get to that Aussie part of it in a moment. But tell us, I'm sure you got a couple of scenes in the team that obviously there was. Normally, of course, that this would be their last season but with the pandemic, they get another year on top of that. You must have told us a couple of scenes in the team, and have the team tried to convince them to stay on for another year.
So 4 of them, and as of right now, a lot of them still haven't made the decision. I think as a team, we would love them to stay on because they're such great leaders. And, we've got, like Summah said, it's such a great group this year. And we've got a great group that could potentially, and we think has a team to win the conference. So, if we could have another chance of that next year as well, that would be amazing. I mean, but it's also, it's really up to them at the end of the day. But we definitely are, just not putting any pressure on them, but, making them enjoy this season as much as possible, hoping that they will come back and, get to spend another year with them as well.
I guess on the opposite end, I'm sure you got some freshmen in the team, other than yourself, Ali. But tell us the other freshmen that you have on the team.
Well, Summah is also a freshman. And so there's is it 6 of us? 5 of us. There's 5 freshmen, and we also have 3 transfers. So there's been a big new group that has come in this season. And so our 5 freshmen, we had one that did her shoulder, but the rest have been, training really well, and we've all kind of adjusted and supported each other, because it is also a challenging year because it's not really normal college life because of COVID. So we have been thrown very much into business like basketball and schooling wise, with not, many like outlets like, being able to hang out with and meet new people as well. So, we're very much a very close unit, which is really, in a way, it's been a blessing as well, because you get to know everyone so well. But all the freshmen, we're working hard. It is our first year, and we have now 5 years together because of the extra year. So, it's really exciting that I'm also really excited about this freshman group, because, if we stay together all the way through, there's a lot of talent as well.
Tell us a bit about your amazing coaching staff that you have there at North Florida.
Our staff here is we've got our head coach, Coach Gibbs, and our assistant coaches, KD or Kadisha Rushton, Kayla or KK, and Joey. And they're awesome. I mean, the amount of experience they have that's combined, it's just it's one of a lifetime opportunity to have a coaching staff like this. So the experience and just how they help us to become better players and better human beings is just something that's just, it's very rare to have. And so we're just really grateful to have them as part of our lives.
Both of you being freshmen on the team, what convinced both of you to go down to North Florida, to Jacksonville?
Well, for me personally, which I think is very similar to Summah, is that we wanted a program that was very family based. So we could come in, and because being so far away from home, it's really nice to knowing that you're going to be put in an environment where you have a second family, and they can support you through those tough times where your family can't. And yeah, UNF just had kind of the whole package for me, in terms of, I love Jacksonville is such a nice city. just the campus, like honestly, it just ticked all the boxes, and especially the coaching staff, and yeah, and even just the girls that communicated with me before signing and everything like that. You know, I just felt very much like it was meant to be in a way. And I think when you know, so that I just knew that this was a program for me, and a program that I could really also improve my basketball, and get a really like a degree, as well as you know, just grow as a woman for outside of, you know, college life, you know.
Same question to you, Summah.
Yeah, pretty much what Ali said. I mean, just being able to just be surrounded by everything, and just like everything that we have, the basketball program, and I mean, Jacksonville is a very uh, it's a very diverse type of place. So I mean, you get all sorts of different cultures and everything like that. But just being involved with here, and like the women and on our team, and just the coaches, it's just great to be involved with this. So that's exactly why I chose to be here.
Now, how did both of you get involved in basketball, and why did you choose it?
I got involved in basketball when I was probably about well, actually, my whole life, my whole family plays basketball. So my mum was a very accomplished basketball player, and I guess I've just been brought up in that environment ever since I can remember, and I've just I've been able to represent Queensland, my state, and several times, and I was selected for the NCAA NBA Global Academy, which was in 2019. So that's how I was recruited for UNF. So that's just I was just every step that I took was just something that just made me even love basketball even more, and just made me want to play at this college level. So I'm just really happy I'm here. Yeah.
And for me, I was originally, my mum wanted me to be a ballerina, and I played one game of basketball and I was hooked. And I know my dad was very happy about it, because I think he would have 100% preferred to watch me play basketball. So I started at a very young age. I started in probably grade 3. And yeah, I loved it ever since. I just loved the excitement of the game. And obviously my first rep program was with Melbourne Tigers. I had some great coaches there. And so, you know, just like what someone said, every step kind of led me to love the game even more, especially, you know, those national campaigns. It just made me love basketball, and having that team where you just play for each other. You really want to win, and just the excitement of putting all that hard work in and getting the reward for it. And, you know, I think you stick with it if you really love the game. And so I deep down love the game and always have. And I don't think, you know, we're moving up over this on the other side of the world to play this what we love. So it is a big commitment to leave your family and to leave everything to do something that you really love. So, and to get better at, you know, I think we can always strive to be better. So, you know, that's how I kind of got and stuck with basketball this whole time.
Now, you must tell us what position both of you play on the court, and if you had a preferred position where you like to convince your coaches to put you, where would that be?
My position is I play a guard and a forward. So that is my position that I like to play, which is like just more so versatility. So I love to be, you know, if I'm able to get on the court and I can play big, then I'll be able to play big or forward. And then if I'm on the court and I play a guard, I'll play the guard. So I'm just more like a small forward type of shooting guard type of player. But yeah, that's my preferred positions, but what I also play.
And because of my height, I am a point guard. And, you know, I would, you know, I love to shoot the ball. I love to score as well, but I also love to give assists. So I think as a point guard, you can do both. So that is definitely my preferred position, and the position that I usually am playing.
Now, you might as well give your local junior association down here in Australia a bit of a shout out, and how important they've been to your basketball journey, to where you got to now being on the other side of the world.
Yeah, I mean, from growing up being in Cairns basketball, it's been something that if I didn't have Cairns basketball, then I wouldn't be here. It's as simple as that. I mean, without the support of family, friends, coaching, and all my teammates that I've had, I mean, that's what made me the player that I am today. So I guess I'm just really grateful for Cairns basketball.
Yeah, and shout out to Geelong Supercats. I spent most of my junior career down there, and especially, you know, I've had some great coaches there and great opportunities as well through the NBL one. So, you know, and they really exposed me to a high level of basketball at a very young age, which has helped me transition really well into college. So, you know, shout out to everyone back there, and I miss all of them a lot too.
What does the sport of basketball mean to both of you, and now especially being there at North Florida? I know you both of you already mentioned about family, but I guess, is there any more to add on to that?
I guess the sport of basketball, it means a lot because it has been a pathway that I can also get a degree. I mean, I think very fortunate that I'm able to receive a scholarship to play the sport that I love, but also get a degree. And also the game of basketball, it's also an outlet. You know, it when you step over the line, you know, it's just about basketball. It's just about playing the game and, you know, doing, you know, your best at everything that you can do, you know. And I think we all strive for success, and ultimately I have goals that I'm striving for, and in terms of basketball, so, you know, it's really, it means a lot to me, and I don't think I would have kept playing all this time and put all the effort and the trainings and the early mornings if it didn't mean so much to me. And I think it means something if you love the game as well. So
yeah. Well, besides family and everything and why I've been into basketball, it's also, as Ali said, an outlet, but also having that feeling of accomplishment when you do something that, you know, you did a great move, or you just won a game, or you just won a tournament or a series, whatever you did, that feeling of accomplishment that you're like, wow, I just did that. That's something that just like is one of the greatest feelings, and you just want to continue on that. And being able to compete against women who are so incredibly athletic and talented, it's just something that just makes you want to, just it drives you, and you want to become great. So that's why I play for basketball.
Do either of you have any future ambitions in the sport of basketball post-college?
Me, definitely. I want to play overseas, which I am right now, but otherwise, professionally, I want to play hopefully overseas, or one day I would love to play in the WNBA, but you know, I just have to remain in the present and get better on my game, so then I can hopefully get there one day.
yeah, I'm similar to Summah. So play professionally at whatever level. I mean, it is really, you know, up to me and how much I want to push myself, but I definitely want to get there. As well as representing Australia one day. I love to represent my country. I mean, it is such a great honor, and that's something that, you know, as a little kid, you've always strived for. Firstly, to, you know, play for your country, and then to obviously play professionally. So yeah, those are some of my ambitions.
Now, let's finish off with a couple of lighthearted questions as well about the team. But before I do that, now, of course, I was going to get back to the Aussie part of it now. So, of course, both of you from different states, Queensland and Victoria. Number one, have either of you played against each other? And how's that go? How did that travel?
So we didn't actually realise, but we played against each other at 18s Nationals in Geelong. And so because I am, someone was top age and I was bottom age, because I started school a year earlier, I'm in the same class as her for, you know, college. But yeah, so we did actually play, and when I was going through my highlight clip, I actually found clips of playing against Summah. Funny because I was like, oh my gosh, that's Summah.
Yeah.
You know, so that was, you know, I think that was the only time that we've ever kind of played against each other. And because we're in different age groups, you only come across each other, you know, once or twice, because you usually come across the same girls with the same age group. But you know, it's quite funny that we can tell everyone that we have actually played against each other.
Yeah. We had we were both selected for the under 20s teams. She would have been bottom age again. I would have been top age, but unfortunately I hadn't, due to an injury, so I just had to, unfortunately I had to miss that out. But otherwise I was really looking forward to, because that would have been the first time I would have actually met her, but yeah,
and we would have both signed at that point as well. So you know, I was actually looking out for her at 20s, but I didn't see her, so I was like, oh, maybe, like, you know, I did think that she was probably injured. So unfortunately we didn't get to meet then, but we've become very close ever since meeting, which is good.
Pretty much almost just answered my next question, which is how special is to play with each other instead of against each other?
Yeah. Amazing. I mean, Ali is an incredibly fierce person, and she is a competitive, very competitive, but also caring, kind, loving, someone who just really takes care of you as a player and as a friend. So just having her with me is just something that's just like, I wouldn't have asked for better. Like it's exactly like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we definitely hit it off, and especially because I came in later. Me and Sam are actually roommates with another player, Elise, and we have so much fun. And I just think that it was so nice that I have another Aussie to help through this tough situations, missing home, all that kind of stuff. And it just happened that we got along so well, and Summah is also very caring and genuine and funny person. And I think that's why we get along, because we're actually quite similar in a lot of ways. And we, in terms of basketball, we think we're both very, very fierce competitors. And Summah's work ethic is just like out of this world. So we both push each other to be better, and we're also encourage each other when we need it the most. So I think that's really good, because we are able to support each other and also have a bit of an understanding of kind of the different styles of game and stuff like that, so we can really support each other. So very blessed to have another Aussie on the team. Very, very blessed.
Very.
Now let's talk a bit about the team. Firstly, who's the comedian in the team?
There are a lot of comedians on our team. There's all types of comedians that we have in our team, but
I don't know, to be honest. We were actually thinking about this, because we thought this might have been a question, and there's not a moment where we're not laughing. And it's literally, it's depending on whose day it is. Someone will do something dumb, they will like mess up, or they will just like completely like make a fool of themselves. And I think Mac is definitely, Marissa Mackins, she's definitely one that gets everyone laughing and gets everyone up and about. And it's a great environment to be like. I'm constantly laughing with these girls, which I didn't think. I've only been here 2 months, and we like, I feel so at home. Like they're so funny.
We have a as well, I think, with that, our other freshman, Elise Harden. She is someone who is just that type of personality where you always want to be with, because she just makes you laugh 24/7. Like, and me and Elise, we have a nicknames, I guess you can call us. We're called the Tweedles. So I'm Tweedledum. Unfortunately, I don't know how we got with that.
No. They know how they got to that. Those two would go on a little off on their little selves, and they would, make a fool of themselves, or they would, so they became Tweedledum and Tweedledee, because they would always be together, but they would always be up to mischief or something.
Now, any good singers and dancers in the team we should know about?
So I said to Summah that I wanted to answer this question, because Summah would love to be the best dancer.
You know what? I would agree with her, because I think I'm the best dancer.
No,
sorry.
She's really working hard to be the best dancer. She's really working hard, and she loves to copy the other girls to pick up on certain moves. And I'll catch her, just doing a certain dance move, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Summah, stop. So Summah does really hope one day that she can honestly say, I am the best dancer in the team. But yeah, so I think we've actually got quite a few good dancers in our team, though. All of them can really vibe, which is really good. And we definitely see it in like the locker room and stuff like that pre-game. And so we're always blasting the music, and even sometimes country comes on, and I'm like, nah, I can't do country.
Oh yeah. It gets us all going, country.
They put on the country music and they all love it, and me and Summah are just like, what? But it is a great vibe.
But for the singer, I mean, we have I haven't exactly heard a lot of us sing properly. I mean, we always are joking around, but I've heard that like Tiffany Talbot, she's a pretty good singer, which I'm wanting to hear. So
So we might pressure her a little bit.
we're gonna pressure her a little bit to sing us a song. But yeah.
Now, have any of your teammates tried to put the Australian accent on, and how's that traveling?
Oh,
Don't ask. That's duh.
do you know what the funny thing is that the constant, I've been picked on for the way I pronounce certain letters of the alphabet, the way that I don't pronounce R's at end of words, because that's just how Aussie kind of how we speak, and so sometimes we say something and they're just like, what?
Yeah, it's not it's not just our teammates, it's our coaches as well.
So I don't to be honest, I think it's a bit too hard for them. Summah actually did try a couple of days ago to put on an American accent, and it definitely failed. So do not ask her to try. Please do not ask her to try.
Let's just say it's a very country type of accent that is just, but I think it's good. I think it's good for me. But.
Now, I guess, have you tried to convince any of your teammates to come with you back to Australia?
Yes. Unfortunately, because of their fear of snakes and spiders and everything, they keep making up excuses saying that it's going to attack them every day. But otherwise, I really, really want them to come to Australia. I would love for them to come to Australia with us. But.
A couple of them want to. There's like they love the idea of Australia and they would love to visit. But there is a couple that have a few phobias and will refuse to get on the plane. So, we've tried our best. You never know, but a couple of them are definite no's.
Now, have either of you tried to convince any of your teammates that we have kangaroos as pets?
Yes. They actually, they believe me too. So they've actually believed me. Yeah, I would say that I go to a kangaroo to school or something. I'd ride on one, or I'd have a pet cassowary or something like that and show them pictures. But yeah, I would joke around all the time about it, and because they actually believe me, and so
and then on the back of that, I would tell them how they can jump on their tail and sit on their tail and karate chop with their legs. And they would their faces was not having it. They were like, what? So, it's very funny. We kind of team up sometimes to trick them a little bit because they do think we live in the country. Yeah. They do. They think we live in the country.
They think it's just like all bush.
Yeah, that's what they think.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Now, I've got to finish off with this last two, which is there anyone that had the most embarrassing moment on the court this season, and what was it?
On the court. Oh, God. On the court.
Jeez.
There are a lot of embarrassing moments we have, and
I can't. There's still actually too many to think of one.
Yeah, it's so hard to think of one.
I honestly
can't actually think of one.
No, I can't think of one, to be honest, because on the court we're very serious. I think it's just if you screw up, it's oh, but off the court, there's been many funny times in training and stuff like that. One of the funniest was probably when our coach nearly pulled his hamstring trying to practice with us because we don't have any practice players this year, so the coaches had to step in. So there's been a couple of times where the coaches have nearly hurt themselves, and we're trying not to laugh because he's also serious, but he'll laugh at that because that was quite funny.
Yeah, I mean, there's been many times as well where we tripped over our own feet running down the court with no one near us. So I mean, it's just those little embarrassing moments that we all have, and just just the things that we do outside of basketball as well. Sometimes a little inappropriate, but otherwise very there's too many that we can say.
We'll finish off quickly with this last one, which is, what will be your advice to people out there that should get involved in basketball?
I guess, I mean, it's not just basketball as well, but with every sport. Just you have to take a chance and able to do what you want to do. And if you try and not back yourself up and just have all this fear in your mind about that you're going to make a mistake, then you're going to make a mistake. So you need to have that confidence within yourself. And it's okay to make mistakes. I mean, that's something that I've learned through my whole basketball career, is that it's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn from them and keep going. So I guess if you want to join basketball, I mean, it's a great opportunity for you to learn from your mistakes and to just keep playing and to be yourself, and especially in an environment that you'll love. It's just something that'll be always with you as you grow old.
Yeah, I think with basketball players definitely strive for the highest. And so my advice is to just, if you really want it, to go out and get it. You know, it is possible. You can play professionally, you can play Div 1 college. It takes a lot of hard work, but if you really love the game and you really want it, you know, go after it. Like, you know, what's the worst that can happen? You know, so definitely push yourselves and make sure you're playing for the right reason. Make sure you're playing because you love the sport, and make sure you're playing because you want to, and you have those goals and dreams that, you know, anything is possible. Honestly, anything is possible when you work hard and you have a dream. So definitely keep fighting for what you want.
Well, both of you, thank you so much for getting up your time to join us on this Australia Day here in Australia, of course. But best of luck against North Alabama this weekend on the road. And let's hope it all hopefully get back on the winning streak and continue that charge to the conference playoffs coming up early next month.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much for that. I enjoyed that incredibly. It was awesome.
Yes.
No worries. And that's Summah Nally joins there from the University of North Florida. Of course, if you want to follow the team, of course, throughout the rest of their conference playoffs, of course, we'll put all the details up on their schedules coming up. Of course, you can watch their games as well online. There's more on the Smash Sports Show right after this. Don't go away here on the Straight A edition.